Plaintiff Bilal Sims says he and the defendant were friends. However, Bilal is suing because he claims one day when he was at the defendant's home, the defendant's pit bulls attacked him and he was forced to go to the hospital for his injuries. Defendant Eric Tillman insists on the day of the attack, Bilal came into his home unannounced and damaged his property. So that's why his dogs attacked. He's countersuing for the property.
Start with you.
Me and the defendant, we're both from Flint, Michigan, and your caravans, the water is greatly appreciated. And I personally like to thank you. You just don't know how much is appreciated. I mean, just from the bottom of my heart and everybody in Flint.
Well, let me say I thank you for your appreciation. And it's a very hot topic once again, as you know. In Flint, the state, which took over the city by way of an emergency manager and then switched the water over to a cheaper supply, which poisoned the people. And they began giving them bottled water as of 2016. And they had nerve to stop the distribution of the free water to the people. And this is just very recent. And so they have no clean water, no bottled water unless they buy it. And so, yeah, that's why we're doing that now. November 1st, I want to see you. November 1st, we're doing a caravan from the Mathis Community Center to Flint, where we're going to distribute the water at the same places the state used to give them to you.
Yes.
So far, we have, I think, about 1,000 cases lined up, and we have semi-trucks we're bringing. And so I want you to join us at Quinn Chapel AME Church, November 1st, 6 p.m., so that you can help unload.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
You're going to be around November 1st to help unload?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the best appreciation you can show me. All right. Thank you. And those watching, if you want to help as well, go to the Mathis Community Center website and they'll tell you how you can either send bottled water to the location, or you can send a gift certificate to the Mathis Center that will then purchase the bottled water. So all those watching, we need your help. All right, tell me what's going on here with your buddy.
I met Mr. Tillman in about 2012. I'm a single father of 2 daughters that's living at home with me.
And you care for him?
Yes, sir.
Alone? As
yes,
a single man?
Yes, sir. No child support or nothing. They don't. I'm not.
What happened to their mother?
She's around, but her
challenges and obstacles?
Yeah, they said her situation was unacceptable.
Yeah.
And so they just gave me
obstacles and challenges. Let me applaud you. And that's something people don't know also, that a lot of men are raising children alone because, once again, that crack epidemic came along in the 80s and 90s and wiped out 2 generations. It wiped out the generation of the parent raising the children. And then, of course, it wipes out the children because they are affected by whatever the drug situation creates. I'm not saying that that's what's happening. I don't want to get into that because it sounds like you don't, but that is what has happened in many instances. So I say that to say that you are to be applauded, and all the other single fathers who've taken over the responsibility, whether it's with girls or not. So hats off. Who you raising?
Thank you.
Who you raising?
We have 5 children at home. Be honest, so I'm raising 5 right now, including my nephew.
You got 5 in the household with you?
Yes.
And you're raising them all?
Yes.
You and your mate,
me and
partner,
my wife.
spouse. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know
She's
you
been
all
my
was
backbone
spouse.
for the.
All right, I love to hear that too.
Yep,
See,
man.
there you go. All right, so tell me why you're suing your buddy.
Well, when I met him through her mom, he was a real stand-up guy. I look at her like she my daughter. We was all family. I bring my daughters over there to play with his daughters, to the point it was like every weekend, and we didn't even miss no holidays, you know.
Good.
You know, and so I goes over there on New Year's, you know, like we usually do. And so we was talking, and he went to the restroom. one of his pit bulls.
New pit bull.
Pit bull come running out the back room. Another one come running out the cage that was open. And
Please
the
tell
one
me two of them.
Yeah, two, one on each leg, Your Honor. They start attacking my ankles, and then they went to the back of my legs and ripped them open. I fell to the ground. They bit me down to the bone. Flesh everywhere. I can look in the back of my leg and see my bones, you know. And he come out the bathroom, get the dogs off me, and the attack stopped. It felt like forever because I was in shock.
Hey, you're about to die.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what was
true.
about to happen.
Right. I'm thankful to be alive. That's, you know. I went to the hospital, straight to the emergency room. Got pictures, took pictures. Yes, sir.
Man, I don't want. These are the bites and all the way down to the bone.
Yes, sir.
This is going to be
Yes,
hard
sir.
to look at. Is it hard to look at? You should wash these underwear if you're gonna show me all this.
No, that's
dirty
that's
underwear
the
hanging
bandage. That's soil.
bandage
That's the soil bandage.
That's like underwear you ain't washed. You can wash these underwear if you gonna show somebody this. Some nasty drawers. Go ahead. I want to see that. Go ahead.
Now 3 million people saw it.
I unwrapped the soil bandages, Your Honor.
I know what it
Okay. Anyway,
What did he say?
Yeah, I called him in the hospital after the police left and all that. He said, "I'm gonna look out for you." While I was at the
He didn't
hospital,
go with you.
no, he didn't.
Go ahead.
No, he didn't. But anyway, before that, animal control came and did their report, and I got their reports too. And he wouldn't even he didn't even follow the law. He didn't even let them come in. They wanted to come over to the house and quarantine the dogs, and he
You
was
wouldn't let
just
him
like,
in. Me hear from you.
All right, first off, if we're going to tell the story, let's tell the story right. In 2009, I've had my dog since 2008. In 2009, my house was broken into.
Why they put down here, your black pit bulls have bitten a person? It has been reported to us that your black pit bulls have bitten a person. If they were white, they wouldn't have done that. So we are not going to They do describe the color of the dog. Seriously, they do. They say black. Y'all know I jump on this color stuff. So go ahead, sir.
So, yeah, in 2009, I was a victim of a home invasion, which my wife and our 4-year-old son was there. And I was shot, and one of my dogs was shot. And so I've kept the dogs around for protection. A couple of years later, I met Mr. Sims through my mother-in-law. We all socialized together, you know. We, like you said, we barbecue, kids would hang out and stuff together and everything.
Let's talk about this.
Well,
what happened? Tell me what happened.
He came to my house unannounced. He walked in the house without anybody telling him to come in. And I wasn't in the bathroom, like he said. I was back in my bedroom. That's how I saw my dog run out of my bedroom to come out of there. And I heard my wife say, hold on.
Your door was unlocked?
Huh?
Your door was unlocked?
Yes, my front door, my screen door. He opened the screen door and walked in, unannounced. My wife said, hold on. He walks in my door, kicks in over he sees the dogs and says, get your dog. Slams the door behind him and backs up against the door and stands there like this. Then he just goes crazy. He starts kicking over stuff, kicked over a statue, knocked my TV over.
While the dogs were in front of him?
Then he laid down on his face and covered up the back of his head. That's how they got on his cheeks. He had one on his cheek and one on his cheek.
Did that make sense?
And that's what they did. I ain't got to lie about it. It was kids there, too. I can get statements from the children that was there if I needed them.
Why didn't you stop them when they first came to him?
I was in the room.
She was out in the living room. I was in my bedroom.
So you just
the way our house was, I had to get out there to get the dogs. And I'm telling him to hold on. While he's standing there standing still, all he had to do was stand still. I'm getting my dog. She was trying to put him in the cage.
All he had to do was stand still.
She was putting him in the cage when she told him to hold on.
All he had to do was stand still and your dogs
or go out the door. He slammed the door behind him.
What's the difference between standing still and moving if they bit him?
Well, the dogs
he was standing still.
They hadn't bit him yet. No, he wasn't standing still. They didn't bite him until after he kicked over furniture in my house and jumped down on the floor.
Why was he doing that?
I don't know. He went crazy. He lost. Okay. I ain't never seen nobody go hysterical.
So your story
like that.
doesn't make sense. $750 is your counterclaim for damaged property. Why?
Because, like I said, he kicked over the glass table and my TV and my mother's statue. Okay. My mother just died 2 years before that, and it was a sentimental value.
And you don't know why he did it? You think he's just crazy?
He don't know why he did it.
Okay.
I don't know if he was drunk or what.
He's not going to tell us. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I got treated for dog bites. I didn't get treated for no cuts. So and that's my doctor. I got the paper report. They didn't find
no. You say you didn't do it.
No,
you
didn't
kick no furniture. What we do know, sir, there's a presumption of guilt that you must overcome, that he provoked them. And you are suggesting, I suppose, that he was kicking the furniture for no reason. He just came in kicking your furniture around.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't have no reason.
I don't believe you. Your claim is dismissed and yours is granted. Have a good day. These dogs.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm so glad you did that. I just wanted to hear who was right and who was wrong.
It was a lie, man. You know he was lying, man. I don't want to hear that, man.
We'll work it out on the first. I'll see y'all on the first. We'll talk about it more.
Plaintiff Trinisha Bailey was friends with the defendant, and she says after her dad went to prison when she was in high school, the defendant was there for her. However, Trinisha's suing because she claims the defendant's pit bull attacked her. Defendant Heather Johnson says she and her fiance are mentors, and they run a boxing league to help troubled youth and provide them with a safe haven. Heather insists the dog in question belonged to her fiance, not her, and therefore she doesn't feel she's responsible.
All right, tell me what's going on.
First off, I would like to start off by saying I'm a big fan of your show because I like the way that you use your past and how you've overcome it, because when I was a senior in high school, my dad, he was incarcerated, and because of that, like, I would just get angry and emotional because I couldn't figure out like why that would happen. One of the biggest times in my life where I was gonna graduate from high school and I really wanted him to be there, and luckily I had people like Heather to be there for me and just let me know that everything was going to be okay, and not to let that stop me or deter me from where I was going, or, you know, and the potential that I had to be.
Good. Now, how do you all go back?
She's been my neighbor for 10 years. Mm-hmm. We first met when I was 10 years old, and she's like an auntie to me. Mm-hmm. Like, whenever I wouldn't call my mom because I knew I was going to get in trouble, I would always call her because I knew she would be there. She would understand.
All right. You tell me about your association with the young lady.
First off, Judge, I would like to just say that you are inspiration to me as well. And we use your example in our daily, because I'm also a mentor. My fiance has a boxing league, North Lawndale Boxing League, where we help children with discipline problems in the school, and they have little things that's going on throughout their life. And it's not just a boxing league, but it's like a boot camp also. Okay. So, you know, keep giving them a safe haven, and just we use you as turning your life around and overcoming your obstacles to, you know, to do better, turn your negative into something positive.
You know, I hear this so much from people, and it gives a certain amount of fulfillment, and I think I'm doing the right thing, but that's a lot of pressure too.
Oh, yes, it is.
I can't do no wrong. Right. And what if I get in trouble? I mean, sometimes it's a heavy burden. I'm in Vegas or something, and my son looks up to you. I'm just playing blackjack. It's legal. Having a drink. Oh no! I can't believe it. You're a role model to my son. I'm of age. So I'm glad I inspire a lot of young people who face obstacles, but tell them the judge is no saint either, all right? Tell them the judge doesn't break the law and he doesn't do wrong, and he does his best in life to live a productive life and do the right thing, but he's no saint. Go ahead with you, ma'am. Tell me why you're suing your friend who's meant so much to you for medical bills and lost wages.
On November 8th, 2012, her fiance was walking her dog, but the dog wasn't on a leash. So I was coming home from the shoe store, and I heard somebody calling out like, hey, come here, come back. So, I'm like looking around, but I didn't see nobody. So my cousin, she was with me. So I told her like, come on, let's cross the street. Cause he sounded like he was on the side of the street that we was on. So we crossed the street, and as we walk up a little bit more, it was like an empty lot that was right on the other side of the street where we was at first. And the dog was like at the front, and he was in the back with a little boy. And at the time, I didn't know that it was him. So he had the leash in his hand, but the dog was in the front like digging. So I told her like, come on, walk up so that we, maybe we can get past him. And he won't.
Type of dog?
It was a pit bull. I have a picture of the dog if you want to see it.
Let's see. Tell me what happened.
So as I was walking or whatever, I kept looking back to see.
This is the dog?
Yes, that's the dog.
And the dog here that I see is eating off the stove, grabbing a slab of meat off of the stove.
Yes, that's the dog.
That or he's cooking.
Right, either that or cooking, right. Ma'am, what do you say to this first?
Actually, that's Dante, and I was making him something. It was his food that he was taking. He just couldn't
You wasn't
wait.
finishing it in time.
Right.
Either that or he likes his rare, and you were overcooking it.
So,
go ahead.
So as I continued to walk, like I would check and see if the dog was still over there. And then the last time I checked, he was still over there. But then all of a sudden, like when I turned around, the dog was right there behind me. And I just turned around because I didn't want it to hop on the front of me. So I didn't want to run because that's what make dogs chase you. So all of a sudden, he just hopped up on my back and he scratched my back. And then I was still moving, so he couldn't really like grab onto me. And then he hopped up again. And that's when he lashed onto my arm. And I have pictures of my wounds too, if you want to see that.
Oh my goodness! How did you get away? How did
I just kept like swinging and screaming, and I was panicking. So I just knew like to not stay still because then he would take me down. Because the dog was like my height, and I just wouldn't stop moving. And finally, I looked around because I'm trying to figure out like where's this man? Like why he not getting this dog off of me? And as I was looking around, still swinging and trying to get the dog off of me, he was on me for at least 5 minutes.
What?
Yes, the dog. And as I'm looking around, he was on the phone calling her. And he was on the phone.
Calling her?
Yes. He was
and the
on
dog was on you?
Yes. And he was like, this dog is down here biting some little girl. And I guess when the dog seen her coming, because she came running as soon as he called her, that's when he ran off of me and went somewhere. I don't know where he went. After that, I just was trying to get home.
The dog was that close to your neck.
Yes, I think that's
you
what
believe
he was
that's
trying to get. Yes.
and almost killed you. You almost died.
At that moment, I felt like the pre-Thanksgiving dinner. I really did. Because, Thanksgiving was a couple of weeks away. I could laugh about it now, but at the time, it was just like, I couldn't.
Traumatized. Not only that, you should have feared for your life.
I did.
Ma'am?
Yana, a little of what she said is true. Far as the part when I came, because I wasn't there first off. And Derek did call me until after the test. He said, Dante just bit a little girl. My instinct, because there's a child involved, I runs out the house to come find out. I didn't see the dog bite her. The dog wasn't even in the area when I came down the stairs. At this time, she was at the corner of our building. And when the dog attacked her at Derek by his apartment. He was at his lot. And when I came down and I looked at her and I grabbed her, I'm like, that's Tranisha. And I grabbed her and she's not lying because she was very shooken up and she's like, don't touch me, don't touch me. She was very shaken up. So I grabbed her and taken the house and I was, checking out, even looked at her wounds or whatever. And I took her to the hospital after that. But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't out there. I didn't know what was going on until Derek called me.
What did he tell you happened?
He told me that the dog got loose and it chased her, it went after her and it bit her.
Got loose how?
I have no idea.
He didn't tell you that?
I asked him, did he have the dog on the chain? He said yes, he broke it.
And he said, oh, okay, well then you do have an idea.
Actually, Your Honor, the dog is his dog, and I guess I don't know why she's suing me because I did care for the dog, but the dog was his. It stayed in his apartment. We're not even allowed to have dogs in my apartment. It stayed with him, and he called me. I come rushing because it's.
Ma'am, what does she have to do with it?
It's her dog. And then when we was on the way to the hospital, she said, I really feel bad about what happened to you, and I really don't want to have to put the dog down. So if whatever happens to you, I will pay for it.
Where was the dog coming from last? Which household, ma'am?
Derek's house. It was outside his apartment where she got attacked.
Is that correct?
The dog was in the lot. I don't know where. From my knowledge, he lives with her and Derek lives together.
Do you?
No, sir.
How far do you all stay apart?
A half a block. I stay on.
Half a block apart?
Yes. And I also have a statement. I mean, I have pictures because to get it clear, because they're making it seem like, yes, the dog was a pit bull, but the dog was not vicious. He grew up with my kids and everything. I have 4 children, but the dog was with the kids down at Derek's house.
Grew up with your children. You run, take it to the doctor, not your boyfriend who owns the dog. All the responsibility that I've heard is on you. So I'm going to conclude that at the very least, you all are jointly responsible for the dog's actions. $2,796 is your judgment. Good luck to you. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I just want to let you know that I still love you. You're still my auntie. This was not personal. This was business.
I truly understand, and love was never lost. I still love you as well.
All right.
Plaintiff Mary Patterson says she lives in a small town and the defendant lives half a mile away. Mary claims she has an 8-pound dog, which she considers one of her kids. And she's suing because she claims the defendant's 4 dogs mauled her beloved pet. Defendant Debbie Ashley says Mary thinks she can win this case based on her looks. Debbie insists her dog is not a vicious dog, and no one really knows what happened because no one witnessed the attack.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I'd like to tell you a little about myself. I'm from Chicago. I have had culture shock ever since I've moved to my small town. And I have a little dog named Sugar. I like to dress her up, take her out. I have 4 kids. We play with her at the park. She slides down the slide. She's like one of my kids.
Let's see it, please. What type of dog?
She's a little mini poodle Bashan. She weighs 8 pounds.
Beautiful dog. What's the Bashan? I'm not familiar with a Bashan.
A Barbie doll dog.
Okay. All right.
Whatever she is, my kids adore her. We take her on trips. I've snuck her into the grocery store. So I've never met Debbie.
How long have you all had the dog?
She's 5.
Very good. You've never met whom?
Deborah.
Okay.
Until the date of the incident.
Okay, I'll let you tell me about the incident shortly. Ma'am, you want to give me some background?
Basically, this is my dog that's supposed to be vicious. This is Ellie. She's a doodle, which is a poodle Labrador mix. She was with her puppies, which I also have pictures, which are double doodles. I'm surrounded by doodle, doodle, doodle. She basically, she protects those kids as if they were her kids. They are my kids. I don't have kids myself. All my kids have 4 legs. And so
how long have you had your dog?
She is 2.5, and the babies turned a year in February, so they're no longer babies. They're still babies, even though they're 70 pounds.
Okay, so what happened?
On the morning of June 13th, my little 3-year-old girl got asked by Sugar to be let out. And it was the second time she ever jumped up and did the deadbolt herself and let our dog out. And thank God she shut the door, because we had these 4 enormous Labradoodles maul Sugar like a pack of wolves. When I see the picture of that brown dog, I visualize blood dripping out of this dog's mouth.
In your yard?
Yes. There was a construction worker working across the street. He took Sugar out of the brown dog's mouth. The brown dog had gripped it and was shaking it like a Labrador would shake its, prey to finish it off.
That is vicious. I didn't know they did that. That sounds more like a pit bull, but nonetheless.
So we got the dog, we pushed it into, the construction worker pushed it into our home. I answered the door, got the dog back in the house, and she was bleeding all over the carpet. She's white, my carpet's white. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
Dogs get into your yard? Do you have
I don't have a fence
yard?
at all. Usually we just watch her when she goes potty. She stays close. She has the run of the place, which is probably not safe for her in hindsight. But
did not leave the yard to your knowledge?
She did not. She was right in the front yard.
What did you say to the neighbor?
Well, she is not my neighbor. She lives at least a good half-mile away.
Oh,
These
really?
dogs traveled in a pack, and they are not normal dogs to our neighborhood.
How did you find out who owned the dogs?
Animal control. When I filed a bite report, they told me where she lived.
I actually contacted
Hold on, ma'am. Okay, and then what occurred?
Well, on the day of the incident, we had to drive the dog to the vet because she was in pieces. I have pictures if you'd like to see her.
I don't want to see that.
She had stitches, everything. The vet bills are only low because I have a very fair vet. We took her to the vet, and when we got back to our subdivision, we went looking for those dogs because we were actually nervous about the kids in the neighborhood. 2 of them had collars, 2 of them did not. The ones that had collars, I was able to catch.
Did you ever speak with the defendant?
I never spoke with her. The first time
Ma'am,
I
let me
met
hear
her.
your side.
Basically, I think that this case comes down to Barbie over here thinking she can win it on looks. Because my dogs are not vicious.
She would win if I was the judge, but I'm not the judge.
To each his own.
Well, it is a dog-eat-dog world. But the bottom line is that these
I don't know if I
dogs,
like that comment.
they got loose. Yes, they did, but so was her dog loose.
On the front yard.
Well, that's what she's saying. Where's somebody to prove that?
How do you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know either.
Well, what she has proven and you've acknowledged is that your dogs
Definitely
bit
were loose.
hers.
They had been in the lake over in her addition because when they got out, I called animal control myself because I do a lot of work with
So your dogs escaped?
Yes. I'm not denying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that I know that these dogs had to be provoked if they did anything wrong because I have babysat or dog sat several dogs at my house. I have pictures of a poodle.
Yeah, at your house?
Yes, at my house.
Not in the street?
Correct, but I'm saying that
That's
she had to be
different.
provoked by something, whether it had been a construction
How
noise.
do you know she has to be provoked?
Because she's not a vicious dog. And just like you or anyone would protect their kids, she's protecting her kids.
I'm not a dog.
Well, but dogs think the same way.
Not as I do.
They think to protect the kids.
Okay.
And these are her kids. And she was protecting her kids. I mean, that's just how they are. They don't know size difference. I mean, they don't know that this dog's this big and they're this big.
You're taking the kids thing too far with these dogs.
And I apologize, I'm
All
not
right.
trying to.
Yeah, all right. Ma'am, your dogs got loose admittedly, and they were half a mile away. The plaintiff proved that her dog was attacked. She says that her dog never left the yard. You have no way of disputing that. I advise you to keep your dogs on your property, otherwise you're going to get sued frequently. All right? 348 is your judgment. Have a good day.
I have no hard feelings, and Sugar can come over and play with Ellie anytime she wants.
No thanks, I'm not ready for round 2 yet.
Plaintiff Renee Van Dyke says the defendant is her neighbor, and one day while she was walking her small dog, the defendant's pit bull attacked her dog, and as a result, Renee's dog lost its eye. Renee is suing for the cost of a veterinary bill. Defendant Victoria Brown admits that she initially took responsibility for her dog attacking Renee's dog. However, since the attack, she has seen a similar-looking dog running loose in the neighborhood, and now she believes that dog is the one who attacked Renee's dog. She's countersuing for moving expenses and pain and suffering.
Start with you.
First of all, this is not my first time seeing you. I met you back in 2003 when your book came out, Inner City Miracles.
Oh, okay.
You signed this for my sons. They came with me. I have twin boys. They were 16 at the time. They're 26. But you wrote, Jeffrey and Jason, stay strong and do your best. They did.
All right. Now, did I help? They're doing all right?
Yes, they both graduated from college. Jeffrey would tell you, I have letters from them that they want me to give to you.
All right, let me
and there's
see.
a picture.
You want to read them? I don't want to sound vain reading them. They're long.
They're
okay,
lengthy.
good enough.
But here's a picture. I met you another time at a demonstration in D.C.
You stalking me, ain't you?
But
just kidding.
And one of the
this is a protest. What was this protest for?
I think it might have been the Gina 6, I think.
Okay, yeah, the kids that were sentenced to prison in Louisiana for a fist fight. Yeah. And hold that book up since you say it's helping people.
Yes.
Turn it around. There you go.
Yes. Seriously, my
I didn't promote it, y'all. She did.
No.
Inner City Miracle is the name. It's a biography.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And you were out there.
I don't have to go that
far. My son would say that, Jeffrey would say that I forced him to read this book. I might have forced him, but I didn't force him to finish it. It really honestly changed their life. Jason went on. You were president of the NAACP on your campus. And my son became the president of the NAACP at the University of Louisville. Okay. And he's also interested in politics. He's a community organizer. And Jeffrey, he was the one more like you. He's got in a little trouble. And I don't know. I don't know if you remember, you dropped something in the classroom one time.
Yeah.
And you picked it up. Okay. My son dropped something in the classroom, but I was blessed to be in it was an Afrocentric school, charter school, and the teacher picked it up and slipped it in my hand so he wouldn't get expelled from school.
Did you catch a case for it?
No.
Oh, somebody needed to go to jail. I think I went to jail, didn't I?
No.
I think I had to go to jail. My mother wasn't there to catch it. My mother wouldn't have called it. She'd have said, "Here it is." That's what my mother would have said. All right.
That's a little background. So, and I just want to ask before we leave if you can just autograph it to me.
All
on
right,
the back.
good. I will.
Thank you.
What's your first name? Renee?
Yes.
Okay. To my baby Renee. You got a lot of talking to do, man. If you're going to get anywhere on this case today, you got a lot of praises to go, man. I mean, I better be the best thing that you ever seen with your bare eyes. Talk to me. Where do you all know each other from, you and the defendant?
Miss Brown is a neighbor of mine. I really never met her before. I just know she's a neighbor of mine.
So let's get right to that then. Unless you want to give a little background on anything.
No, it was just nice to meet you. My son seen your show before, and it inspired him a lot.
And he promptly went to juvenile. So you know,
No, it stopped him.
Oh, it stopped him from getting in
He
trouble.
has a 2-year scholarship at Fitchburg Military Academy where he plays football. Wow. So now this is his last year. He's looking forward to going to college. So. You know,
Good.
It was an inspiration to him. I tell him if you can do it, anyone can do it.
Oh, congratulations. Good to hear that. All right. We're going to get to the vet bill, but I appreciate you all telling me that it makes a difference. That's the comment I hear most of all out when I'm in the community is that thanks, you're making a difference. Thanks, you changed my life. Thanks, this and that and the other. Even though sometimes we have fun and act a fool in here on the outside, when I hear about making a difference with people because they know of my background and they see how I relate and know that I've been there, done that, and young people see that they can do the same, and older people, that's what I find most fulfilling about this job. So let's get right to it. What happened?
On May the 5th, my granddaughter Deja and I were walking through the alley with my dog, Duchess. She's a Yorkie Poo, weighs 7 pounds. And as we're walking, realized that the gate to Miss Brown's fence was open, and her dog came after us. And her dog's a pit bull. And so we ran. The Yorkie was on the leash with my granddaughter. So I told Deja, keep going. I fell.
Came after you as well?
He came after the three of us. I don't know who he was going after, but he came after us.
Getting the first one he could, no doubt.
So I fell, and he got right in my face. Then he heard Duchess, and then turned.
Barking.
Right, and then he ran after, and he got a hold of Duchess and put Duchess's eye out. We thought Duchess was dead.
Yeah.
So we ran. We made it to the front of the house. We went through that, ran into the back to the front.
Survived a pit bull attack.
Yes, well, I have pictures. We didn't think she survived.
That's a tough little Yorkie. To survive an attack by a...
That's before the bite. I have a picture after the bite, but...
Let's see after the... Oh, I see the picture after the bite.
Yeah, she didn't like to smile at all.
Yeah. Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Well, the incident happened, Miss Renee, as she stated, was walking her dog. Her niece that lives with her, name is Miss Angie, that's who I'm familiar with. She called me and stated that my white dog attacked her dog. My white dog is an American Bulldog.
That's not true.
So she stated that my white dog actually killed their dog. So at the time, I had on pajamas. I sent my nephew around to take a look because my white dog was sitting beside me at that particular time. So I was like, well, no, it's not, my white dog. So when he went around, he said he didn't, my nephew stated, and he has a statement as well, that he didn't see Miss Renee or Miss Angie out front. He just saw my brown dog sniffing their dog.
Oh my God.
And that's what he stated.
That's a good one. I don't mean no disrespect.
And so, what is your point? Did your brown dog bite him then? Is that
no? Because he stated that when he brought the dog back around the corner, there was no blood on my brown dog, and then he said there was no blood on her dog as well.
So,
and my fence.
What are you saying? Your brown dog was there for what purpose?
I don't know why the brown dog was there, and that's why I said I don't think I owe her for the vet bill because it was a mistaken identity, because there's another brown dog in the neighborhood that runs loose, and it could have been that particular dog.
Okay, so it could have been one brown dog that injured her dog.
Yes.
And then your brown dog was there to rescue her dog.
Yes, you can say that. He
I
was
can say that.
Yes, he was.
I
there.
don't want to say that. You want to say that?
Yes, he was sniffing. He was sniffing her dog.
And it just so happened that the one who bit her dog was the same kind of dog as yours, which was sniffing.
Yes. He was sniffing, and Miss Renee or Miss Angie wasn't around.
Come on now, man, don't trivialize this like that. Your counterclaim for $3,000 for moving expenses and pain and suffering. How does she owe you?
Because in the process of everything that happens, I have 2 other dogs. I have American Bulldog, 2 of them actually. One of the American Bulldogs is my 12-year-old son's dog. So we have to uproot them. As you can see, I have pictures of them sleeping with them. My son, my 12-year-old son and my 5-year-old grandson wrote letters stating how they felt when we had to get my brown pit bull euthanized and how much he had to go through because of her niece, Miss Angie, telling the neighbors 3 days after we put our dog down that our dog is still running the neighborhood. So my son called me upset, crying, saying, Mommy, they're talking about my dog and my dog is dead. Why are they doing this to me?
Can I say something, please? Mm-hmm. There's a statement from my neighbor. She's the one that called the police.
Mm-hmm. You have your...
Yeah, here's the bill. And
the bill.
Her nephew came and got the dog, but he was still standing over my dog.
And you want her to pay for your moving expenses. Why, ma'am?
Because my landlord sent a letter.
Saying what?
saying that we have to get rid of the other 2 dogs. And
So why does she have to pay for you to move?
Because of the incident that happened.
What did she do wrong?
Because she notified my landlord. If it was my dog and not my landlord's dog that actually killed her dog or hurt her dog.
But if you weren't doing anything wrong, your landlord has no right to kick you out. So you just tell your landlord no.
So even with this letter, because she said she's going to take me to court.
No. Landlord has to take you to court.
Okay.
And then when you get to the court, the judge will determine that the landlord has no right to evict you unless the landlord does. Only you know that. In the meantime, ma'am, I do believe it was your dog. I don't believe that a dog that looked just like yours bit her dog, and then your actual dog just happened to be standing over her dog when her dog was injured, ma'am. $2,700 for your vet bill. I believe that their dog did bite yours. Your claim is dismissed, ma'am. Have a good day, ladies.
I'm sorry. Your loss and my loss. So.
I'm sorry that, your dog was hurt. I'm a dog lover, and I don't mean for your dog to be hurt, but I still think it was a mistaken identity.